Jesus Christ. Okay, for a start, I don't know what to say about that. So what was his message? I got lost in his message. It was so quick. And also, if you're a Gen Y or a millennial, go, hey, I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. There was a massive bagging of Gen Ys at one point. Now, apparently Gen Ys are fine. Fucking hell.
3 businesses I would never buy. Number 1, restaurants. They ain't for making money.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. For a start, she might be an expert in boring businesses, right? Which is laundromats. Right? When I was on Shark Tank, seriously, every single one of us thought we had the hardest business. Restaurants are incredibly profitable. Let's have a chat to Gordon Ramsay and see if restaurants, aren't very profitable, right? You've got Grill, you've got Betty's Burgers. They are. You can actually adapt, you can adjust. She's right. Most businesses fail in the first 5 years, but it's not just restaurants. It is all businesses. So she has no idea what she's talking about. Sorry.
Hotels are not businesses. They're real estate with a lot of parts masquerading as a business.
Don't know much about hotels, but Paris Hilton seems to be doing all right. So can't comment too much about hotels. However, they cannot continue with these chains unless they're making serious coin. I also think she's completely wrong. I don't know if she's been into a hotel lately, but they charge you for everything. So I think they're making a lot of money.
Then we've got retail storefronts. Those businesses are awesome.
Let's talk about Lululemon. Let's talk about Lorna Jane. Let's talk about Saba. I mean, I know these businesses are doing very well. Yes, there is challenge. There's no question that she's right. There's challenges with getting stock and then selling it later. We're also a retail front. Boost Juice is one of the most successful juice bar chains, actually is the most successful juice bar chain in the world because it's a really simple model. And we continue to innovate to do the right thing. What she's flawed at, she might be really good at, as she said, the boring businesses, which is laundromats. Right, good on her, congratulations. But she should never bag other businesses. Any business, in my opinion, has its challenges. Every business is not easy. It's not that one business is better than another.
Gen Z's not lazy, they understand their options. Hey, you want to come work this dick shit job and get paid $52,000 a year? Or do you want to stay home and make TikToks and make $60,000 a year? Yeah, companies are completely fucked. If you don't give a fuck about your employees, why the fuck should they care about you?
I actually quite like him. I think I like his attitude. I think he's really sort of, really punchy. But people get caught up with Gen Zs, millennials, Gen Y, X-Gens, right? And people think that these new generation are the hardest and more complicated. It's all bullshit, completely. It's about people going through certain parts of their life, whether they're, 18 to 25, where they're finding themselves. So people think that it's this generation that is all this difficult and they're entitled. Every single generation has gold. Every single generation has people that want to work really, really hard. Every single generation has people who are lazy, right? And feel entitled. So it's not about generation. We've got to throw away this. It's Gen Z, it's Gen Y. We've got to throw that away and just look at people and go, you are an incredible employee and you are incredibly entrepreneurial. You're an incredible person and you might be just lazy, right? But it's not because they're Gen Z or Gen Y or millennials. It's just because they are that person.
That's exactly right. And coming from someone who you've hired, how many people are like teenagers?
Yeah, great. They're fantastic, So, but there is also equally in that cohort of fantastic teenagers, there's a whole lot that go, I'm entitled, but that wasn't any different than 20 years ago. Or 30 years ago, right? It's people are people, right? You just got to find the gold in every generation. But we shouldn't keep labeling them. The only difference is that the generation that we've got now are more tech savvy. They've got more options, right? They're not entitled. They've just got Seek popping up going, hey, there's a new job, right? So it's the same people. They're just in a different environment. Okay.
Here's why I sold my Porsche, my Range Rover, big houses, and got rid of all my expensive shoes. I thought when I bought them that I was cool and I'd be happy following other people who have them. But the truth is, I wasn't. In fact, I got less happy. Every time I bought something showy, we started looking around for who else has more, and suddenly the bar just got higher. This is called intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic means you really want it. Extrinsic means other people tell you that you should want it. That makes us miserable. Status gains equal bad mental health states. So I sold everything or gave it away, and I realized I didn't really need much. The life that you build isn't a representation of logos. The life that you build is the experience that you have every single day. All of these hype fools showing you fancy cars, that's your number one red flag. If they have to show you extrinsic things to make you think that they're cool and happy intrinsically, probably means their bank account's a lot smaller than they say. They aren't actually as successful as they say. They're not happy, that's for sure.
Look, I tend to agree with her, actually, in fairness. But the thing is, though, you've got to grow as a human too. I grew up in Baronia, right? So, someone with a Mercedes must be successful, right? Yeah. So you get conditioning when you're younger. To her point about, you think that you've got this nice car, you're successful. In actual fact, sometimes you fake it till you make it. That's okay. If it makes you feel good about driving a Tesla car or a Mercedes Benz or whatever, and that makes you feel like you're a bit more successful, there's nothing wrong with that either. But it is when you're older and, having the benefit of age now, you do find that what's important to me isn't the Prada bag, But my best friend, Pia Miranda, she just got this most amazing bag and it gives her joy. So to her point, if it genuinely gives you joy, then do it. But if you're doing it because keeping up with the Joneses, and then that's it's a shallow feeling. Not that you're shallow, you're not, because we all go down that path. Yeah. But it won't last. That happiness won't last. So I think it's really important to not beat yourself up either. If you bloody want a Rolex watch and it makes you happy, get a Rolex watch if you can afford it and save up for it, and you've got that and you look at it, it makes you smile. So I don't think you should judge yourself for getting that fancy thing that it makes you happy, nor should you judge yourself for not having that Mercedes Benz. I mean, I've got this little jalopy when I go to Melbourne. It's about a $10,000 car. It's beaten up, right? I got out of it at a friend's house and she went, "Oh my God, you're Janine." I went, yeah. And she said, "I wouldn't expect you to drive that," right? Right? I was like, God, it's a car. It gets me to A to B. I don't really care. It made me smile because people have an expectation of, oh, you are here, so you must fly on a private jet. You are here, you must have a Bentley. Like it's interesting, the status symbol. But when you get older and you're happy with your own skin, it doesn't matter. But equally, if that makes you happy, do it. I just think that we're in a world of just judging people. We're going through this woke where, that person, said that about person. I always think it's about intent. If you're intending to harm someone or offend someone, then that sucks. But if you have no intention, or your intention is good but it's misunderstood, then, lay up, let's relax a little bit. I think we've just gone too far.